Size super simple recipes number 7, passata. Now I'm going to make some passata. I use it for pizza bases, soups and stews, as a basis for a pasta sauce. Basically it's a stew of tomatoes, olive oil, garlic and normally red onion, but I haven't got any red onion, and this is size super simple recipe, so we're going to cheat. We're not going to have to cook anything, but let's talk about some olive oil. This is my favourite, which is a Greek cold pressed olive oil. It tastes wonderful, but it's 25 quid a bottle, so I tend to only use that for flavourings, salads, dressings, that kind of thing. I don't tend to cook with it. I like green olive oils, so that's normally Greek Cypriot, or in this case it's a Spanish one, and that's only about £5 a bottle, which is much more reasonable, and that's the one that I tend to put into the condiments section for stuff like that. But this is my own. It's steeped, it's absolutely full of lovely stuff like tiny bits of pimento, garlic, fresh basil, fresh oregano, rosemary blossoms, whatever I've got in the herb garden that I think will work well. It just goes in there, and I top that off with either a cheapish Greek or a cheapish Spanish olive oil. Well, that's been steeping and topped up and steeping for about 2 years, and the flavour in that is pretty damn excellent considering how cheap it is. What we're going to use for the passata is some Italian chopped tomatoes, some really lazy garlic because it's a simple Simon recipe, and I'm going to supplement what would have been the roasted red onion with some red pesto. Once you've made it up, it will store in the fridge quite easily for 3 or 4 days, and we're going to use it on a couple of subsequent recipes. So I'll get cracking on this, and it's a 5-minute job. So there's my tin of Italian chopped tomatoes. Into that I'm going to put a teaspoon of chopped garlic. Nice lazy one, so I don't have to do it myself, but obviously if you really want to, feel free to get fresh cloves and crush them. I'm going to put my secret ingredient, which is a big teaspoon of red pesto, mostly because I haven't got the red roast onions to work with. We're going to add a good glug of my infused olive oil, and finally this is fresh basil leaves from my little herb garden. You can buy fresh basil, you don't want the stalks in there if you can avoid it, so you just pull off the leaves and drop them in, and this will make a fabulous pizza base, a sauce for your pasta, or the basis of some really good stews. One really nice Italian stew I like is sausage in this tomato, but I'm not a great lover of all Italian sausage, but with Cumberland, British Cumberlands, it works really well. So that all goes in there. Then we have to be careful when we blend it that we don't get it everywhere, but I'm bound to do that anyway. So effectively all we're going to do is blitz this, and then you put the whole jug of it in the fridge, and it will last 3 or 4 days without too much trouble. size, special passata, job done.